Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7, FND POD. Sorry, let me do that again. Hey everybody, welcome to FND POD.
We're leaving that in, dude.
We're doing it. We're
filmmakers talking about films. I'm Vinny.
I'm Aaron.
Hey, I'm Cooper. What episode are we on, dude?
This is episode 75.
Holy crap.
It's an all caps juicy one.
Okay, so you're reading off the you didn't have to read off the template. I just put it there for you. You could put any adjective you want in there.
This is a very unsettling one.
Ooh, a creepy one.
This is kind of a creepy one, but also kind of funny at times.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, funny
Definitely.
One. We are tackling the film Weapons.
Okay, a little housekeeping first. Guess what? We all have memberships, and we launched a Patreon for this podcast. The memberships, I believe it's $2.99. That's just to support. It's just supporting, and then the Patreon, we're gonna do monthly live streams where we just kind of hang out, and then an additional live stream where we do watch-alongs with films. The first one we're gonna do is this coming Wednesday, the 27th, at I believe, what do we say, like
5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We have not picked a film yet.
And we also might not all be there. Our schedules don't always line up. There's 3 of us. We all have different responsibilities. So
Right.
So yeah. I suggest a film. We can Streetwise, a documentary that actually Zach Krager mentioned as sort of an inspiration
for the narration, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, what's it called?
Streetwise.
Oh, I've never heard of it. Okay.
It's funny. Someone told me about it like a while ago. I believe it's children in Portland or Seattle about kids living on the street. Way too young to be doing the things they're doing.
Kids up to no good.
Yeah. So
kind of like this movie.
Kind of like this movie, but we can get into that.
Get into that.
Okay. So then it says on the page here, it says fun banter for 2 minutes.
I don't know what that means.
Go, Vin. A boom, doom, bing, ding, ba-ding, boom, da, boom.
Well, yesterday I was walking down the street and I looked down and I said, "What was that?" It was a wig. Where did it come from? The wig had a story and we don't know. Someone had a wig and they took it off, or maybe they were running and then it fell off and it was laying on the ground.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, but like I literally was rolling into that doing a Seinfeld intro for you to do like a funny little banter.
It seemed your music seemed a little more musical than the
boom doom 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 boom doom boom.
So anyway, I was walking down the street, and these people are also walking down the street, and they won't get out of the way, and you got to get around. It's a game of chicken every time. You stare them down. Who's gonna go around who?
It's weird. As I'm looking at you, and Cooper's got the background jam going. I think if you did a little tiny mullet adjustment to your hair, I think you'd have a good Seinfeld going on.
You could do it.
When you're driving in your car, it's not a good Seinfeld.
Well, you got the look, you know. Just say,
Whatever.
What's the lead-in? The lead-in every time is...
I'm getting worse at impressions, but as I'm getting older, there's something going on. I get worse at doing impressions.
Just say,
gets better.
What's the deal? Just say that.
What's the deal with the candy's getting smaller?
Boom.
That's
you just need a lead-in. You just need a lead-in.
Right, that key phrase sort of unlocks the whole thing.
What's the deal with all these weapons? With these kids? What's going on? Which, by the way, look, first of all, this movie's awesome. Weapons is so cool. I had a great time watching it. For those of you who don't know, if you haven't seen it yet, there's going to be spoilers.
Spoilers.
I think you should know that. But overall, so Weapons, if we break it down really, just...
Tell me if I haven't seen, Coop.
The actual synopsis is...
What am I expecting?
When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. Ooh. This movie was made for a cool 38 mil, and it's that's it. Just a little splash in the pot.
Nothing.
But Oh, watch out, because so far worldwide it's got like almost 170 million. So this thing is really, everybody's liking it. All the cultures.
I saw
all
an
the
article
regions.
that talked about the pull from the box office, and it said that the first week, your opening is your biggest, but then the second week drop was 43%. But like the article, I guess that's a big deal because it's supposedly a lot more usually. So to have just a 43% dip after your first week is like, that's a really good sign.
Why? What? It's usually 70.
I don't know what it usually is, but when I was reading it, I was just like, oh, that seems like a huge. But then again, you have new releases, you have everything is so packed culturally, so it makes sense that people would usually just be like, oh, okay, on to the next thing. But if it's got staying power.
Exactly. I mean, that makes total sense, though, because the whole marketing push is behind one opening weekend.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do. And then the rest is word of mouth. Like, that's all you can rely on.
But do you remember back in the day when films they'd be in theaters for, I mean, there wasn't streaming, obviously, but like I remember My Big Fat Greek Wedding or like Titanic.
It was in theaters for 5 years.
For like you could just you could go in January and then you could go see it again in like November and it would still be there. I swear. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I do remember it was for a long time.
I don't quite remember exactly, but I trust your instincts on that one.
And do you remember the release like model where releases would go from the theater to like airplanes to like hotels and then to blockbusters? I remember waiting so long I'd see a movie in theater and be like, oh, I love that. And then you just, so much time would go.
Dude, I used to just buy flights just to watch the flicks, just like a quick 2.5 hour flight.
$200 flight to see this movie.
Exactly.
Somehow financially it works out. It's a hack.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a hack is actually worse.
Well, how much?
We
It's
could
so
do a whole
expensive.
spin-off podcast.
Going to the
We
movie.
could do a whole spin-off podcast about life hacks that don't actually. It's life hurts.
Yeah.
We're not providing hacks. We're providing hurts.
Hey,
I was going to dive into some crew mentions really quick.
I didn't know if we wanted to, because we were talking about how much we like the film. Do we want to leave the audience reception review till the end, or should we do that now? I feel like
I don't care. Whichever. Let's get through some of the other details.
Geez, slow your roll, dude. You want out with
Coop,
it.
do you see how I cue these things up for us to follow, and then Vinny it took like 5 minutes for him to break it.
It's Vinny's
instinct. I immediately
I sent a text before this episode, and I was just like, "Hey guys, I made this template so we can we're gonna stay in order this time."
Yep.
And 5 minutes in, Vin can't do it.
I could just see. I can already tell you now that for the next one, I would want to do the reception up top, not at the bottom.
Dude, before you take a poop in the toilet, do you wipe your ass before the poop comes out?
That's not at all.
That's silly.
This
silly.
is a wipe. I'm doing a wipe after scenario here. By the way, also, if you notice, I feel like I'm being self-conscious about it, but I have no AC in this apartment, and it's hot today, so I'm starting to sweat, and it's showing on my shirt.
No one noticed until you mentioned it, and now everyone's gonna notice.
Yep. All right, maybe I'll cut that out. All right, hey, Aaron, why don't you tell us about the crew and who made this goddamn movie?
Well, a little guy, you may have heard of him. A little guy, Zach Kreger. You guys, I don't know much about Zach, but I know he's on a run right now.
He's a pretty tall guy, I think, actually.
He's not little. He's not a little guy at all. No.
He's got a good physique, good nice pecs.
Coop, how old do you know Zach?
I did know when I moved out to, actually before moving out to LA, this is really fun. Just a quick nugget, because first...
this is a classic Hollywood LA story.
Classic Hollywood story. I ran into him. He spilled cranberry juice all over my white shirt, and he said, hey, buy another, and he threw like his whole wallet at me or something. No. When we were in Chicago making sketches, Zach Kreger reached out to me to just like, as like a fan. He was like, obviously, he's before Barbarian, and for many years, like starting up in New York, he was with Whitest Kids You Know, a sketch group. So he just, maybe one of our things got on Reddit or something, but he reached out and just was kind of like, want to say, hey, you like love the performances and like want to just give you a way to go. And then he was like, why aren't you guys in LA? Why are you in Chicago? And then kind of had like a short little pen pal thing going on back and forth, and then we met a couple times out in L.A. and just couldn't say anything, bad about him. He's the nicest dude in the world and seemed very engaged and authentic. But
all his interviews seem like he's just a super genuine dude. Could not have come to a nicer guy. So, and
Pretty
obviously huge kudos for. I mean, White as Kids was like a huge inspo for us as we were starting out, and like I remember when we got like the DVD compilations of all like the classic sketch groups being like, when we really started diving into sketch, and we're like, all right, we gotta research the greats and like what really is working, and White as Kids was in there, and Upright Citizens Brigade, Kids in the Hall,
Mr. Show.
So
yeah,
Mr. Show, yeah, all the classics. So. Yeah,
they weren't a classic. Yeah, they were.
Well, yeah, actually, they were in the midst of. Yeah, that's true.
It'd be like classics. They'd be like Monty Python.
Yeah.
I know, but we were like, no, I didn't view us as contemporaries because like we didn't. I mean, yeah, we had a couple viral videos, but they like had a legit show on Fuse, and
this is like.
Well, I'd say we were contemporaries, but we weren't peers because we were doing stuff at the same time, but they were.
Yeah.
They just were way more successful.
So Zach directed and penned this film. Obviously, his work before, he did Barbarian, and I think that's what like really blew him up on the horror radar. He teamed up. I actually didn't know this until after I researched the film, but his DP was Larkin I don't know how to pronounce it. Larkin Seipel, who did Swiss Army Man. He did Everything Everywhere All at Once. I Don't Feel at Home. Oh, I wanted to shout out I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but great little indie flick with Elijah Wood is very good. And he also shot This Is America, Donald Glover's like
very
huge
cool.
music video. So
Okay,
he's
cool.
done a ton. Yeah, his buddy Joe Murphy, who edited Barbarian, is back. And then obviously the cast. Got some heavy hitters in here. But what I learned was that Austin Abrams, of everybody in this film, was the only dude he originally cast that actually hung on while Zach dealt with like a bunch of delays to make the movie.
No way.
He originally, like Pedro Pascal was like originally Josh Brolin's character, I think, but had to drop out for Fantastic Four. Several people as well.
I believe they had a kid who they had to postpone because of strikes, and then the kid they chose, he had hit a growth spurt, so he was no longer.
Oh, the kid who played Alex?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh.
Got it.
They had to find a new boy.
Yeah,
Also,
we'll get into it, but
Pascal, it's this Pascal fever, man. He's all over. I'm glad it worked out with Brolin to be in this thing.
I
think
think that Brolin crushed it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I learned a lot going into this after the film. This movie's got a lot of really fun trivia. I don't know how much you guys had read about it, but the thing before I saw it that I knew was that because of the success of Barbarian, everybody wanted this script. So the supposed story is that Jordan Peele's company, Monkey Paw, really, really wanted this. And I think Monkey Paw is a part of Universal. And so they lost the bid to New Line for $7 million. They were $7 million short on their bid for the film. And there was a back and forth. I guess Peele supposedly dropped his managers because they lost the bid on the film.
No way.
Dropped the ball, yeah. I mean, that's how bad he wanted a part of this. And it makes sense. I mean, Jordan Peele being a comedy guy, Zach being a comedy guy.
So cool.
And this script just being super, super hot. So, yeah, pretty crazy that it kind of incited a bidding war.
And it's funny too because he went from I don't know if I misinterpret the article, but he had the script, and when he went to go put it out, it was within 24 hours it sold, and it's cool because I didn't know this. I never saw this film, but do you guys remember Miss March?
Yeah.
He directed that. Him and Trevor Moore directed that together. And he said that put him in, or whatever the article put it, it put him in director jail. No one wanted to work with him for,
really?
For over 10 years, I think. obviously, and he was just being an actor, and he was like working on these scripts. So it wasn't until 10 years later, that failure, which he described it as, gave him the freedom to just like, well, I'm just going to have fun now. So he just wrote Barbarian, and then and then he does this one. And so it's like you go from being like not being hired to do shit for 10 years to like, okay, I could sell a script in 24 hours and, for that much money.
Yeah, I think for Miss March too, like his first, like his debut, I guess, that he was saying how he was given the opportunity because Whitest Kids, was just so hot and crushing it that they were like, yeah, man, do whatever you want. But he, like, in hindsight, just like was not ready to do that. He was just young and just was, going forward with it, but just didn't have the experience. And, obviously he said director jail, but now it's like the Phoenix and totally new experiences in his life. And even like, if we want to go into that, like the way he wrote Barbarian and Weapons is so wild and interesting, but it follows Lynch's process, which is using transcendental meditation.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, it's basically like, like you have all your lived experience, but you kind of like shut your brain off and just let like the signals and just have their antenna up and just let inspo come to you and not overthink it. So the way, I guess, in practice, how you do that is he just starts writing and he goes, all right, what if a teacher walks into her school and her whole class is gone except for one kid, and he writes that and he goes, oh, why? I don't know, let's find out. And then he keeps writing and slowly, figures out the story as he goes, like just not being judgmental, but just being curious about every single next move, informing the following move.
It's kind of interesting because I think that's kind of the opposite of how a lot of people would if they were to teach you screenwriting. It's like it's the opposite of what people might suggest to do, where you could imagine a case in which like a lot of like, college kids who are just like, all right, I'm going to be the next Aaron Sorkin, and they're like writing, but like the plague of like your early amateur scripts are that they go nowhere. It's just rambling nonsense. But also what you're doing when you're like doing that is you're exercising that part of your brain, which is to just create like a flywheel, like you're just creating, and I think that's the most important part, because when you're writing, you just want to get out of your own way. So in his case, it seems like he knew that eventually he might find something. I think I watched an interview where he even acknowledges like, well, yeah, you could start with something like that's like a really interesting hook like that, but maybe it doesn't lead anywhere. But that's okay, because you got to write to find it. It's not like it's all going to come to you like matter of fact, like right then and there. So,
yeah.
To quote someone else who I forget where this came from, there was you can't think your way into writing, but you can write your way into thinking.
Oh, snap.
I forget. Someone told me that, and I thought it was good.
Not what they teach at UCLA Film School.
I don't know who said it. I was at a pool party, and I was talking to someone. Classic, we were sitting there. It was Hollywood, classic Hollywood thing. We were just at a pool party. He goes, man, you can't.
Was that Sorkin?
I think it was, if I remember correctly.
Dude, he just dropped that on you and then leave?
I think it was Sorkin. He said, you can't think your way into writing, but you can write your way into thinking.
No, that was Sauer. That was your buddy Dylan Sauer, who was ripped on MDMA. He was ripped on MDMA. His pupils were nuts.
Maybe you thought he was.
Yeah, we were candy flipping by the pool, and he just said this stuff. And he goes, and I don't even know where this stuff comes from. But so he goes, I use the David Lynch transcendental meditation method of life, where I just kind of I don't even think. I just say, and things come out of me. And there's sometimes they're good, and sometimes it could be a little offensive. And I burn bridges in my life, and I don't talk to my family. But
and so really, I am on the hook for arson, because I've been burning bridges and ripping MDMA.
Literally.
Nuts.
And then he jumped in the pool in all of his clothes.
That's him.
And he said, oh shit, I have my phone in my pocket.
That's classic Sauer, dude.
That's Sauer, bro. That's Sauer,
That's
bro.
him. That's him.
All right.
Guys, let's open it up. I want to know. I'm itching. Now I'm like Vin at the start of this episode. I'm like, let's get to the meat of it.
Well, no, we're still in the fun trivia and context section.
Oh, there was only one other segment that I really wanted to bring up before moving past it but I was going to talk about it later, but since you brought me back, Zach did mention that Prisoners, the cinematography of Prisoners was like a draw for him, inspo for, I think I'll just write what he said. He told Letterboxd, the cinematography of Prisoners is so gorgeous. Washed out, somber, cloudy, rainy look of the film. I really wanted to evoke everything visually that the movie evoked. Kreger continued revealing that he and his DP would watch Prisoners constantly. It's very lived in, he said, vowing to capture the same sense of authenticity. I agree, man. And I think it tracks. You know what I noticed too, which is like such a smart move, is like when all the kids are fleeing the houses, they like wet the streets. So they have that like nice...
That's
like
nice wet
sheen,
street
reflective
look.
sheen. Oh man, it's such like a
That's classic horror nighttime shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice like boost of light, but also just gives like that Midwest. I think it takes place in or supposedly Pennsylvania. Just it felt very appropriate.
In a Stephen King-ish type of town.
Yeah, but that's like some guy's job on all the Hollywood sets. He's
Can we get the street wetter in here?
Hold on a second.
Come on, we need this power wash.
Yeah,
okay?
hold on.
I'm on my union break.
I'm on my break. Hold on. What do you want? You want this thing on sprinkler or you want this on center jet? Let's
Just get it wet,
all
buddy.
right. Well, it's a nuanced thing, guy. It's nuanced. I'll hit you up.
Hey bud, we got a quarter mile of street we got to get wet, and the frame is up. We got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll make your mother
Pretentious
wet.
wetters. Okay. HR.
All right, come on. We're good. We're nice and wet. We're wet the whistle.
Thanks.
But
this guy
yeah,
does beautiful work.
You got to do that. But yeah, that movie, that's so true because, I mean, I guess if you think about, like, lived in is like a cool way to put it because Prisoners you just feel like you're there. It's like so authentic that you're there with, you know, what's his name? Gyllenhaal and, oh my God, Hugh, what's his name? Who's Wolverine?
Hugh
Grant?
Jackman.
No, Hugh Grant.
Hugh Jackman.
Thank you. Hugh Jackman. But just like you said, the houses are all messy. Everything's just looks gross and authentic.
And that's
in the
hard.
best way.
If there's got to be anything hard about that, it's taking a Hollywood actor used to the posh and primpy lifestyle and making them feel like a schlumpy Midwestern folk.
Man.
Who those are our people, guys, but like they ain't us. They really
What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the Hollywood folk.
the Hollywood type that they're trying to make look like some suburbanites.
Well, where are they from? Were they from? The
I'm just joking. I mean, I know everybody's probably not from LA. It's just
well, maybe there's a lot of.
that's part of
No
it.
one's
And
from
it worked
here.
too. Prisoners felt very. I mean, I think that everybody they cast was excellent, but it did have a very like. I guess also in a way, you know, Prisoners dealing with similar themes of, you know, like kid gone missing, desperation, power. You know, like.
Yep, that's all there.
Are we talking about prisoners? or are we talking about weapons? Let's get
Well,
back
I'm
on.
prisoners to weapons.
transitioning.
Yeah.
Are you listening? Open your ears.
God, turn your fucking brain on, guy. Another one that he got a little inspo from was Magnolia.
Yeah, he talked a lot about that.
Yeah, just like multiple stories weaving into one core theme. And also like literally specifically the cop he modeled after John C. Reilly with like the mustache and everything, which is so cool. Hereditary was another big one just for the horror sake of the tone. Sorry, Vin, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say if a film like this where we're gonna tell all these different stories from all these different perspectives. If I had gone into it knowing that, I would have been way less interested. Something about that storytelling device, I don't know. I'm just like, nah, I don't care.
What do you mean?
Do you think it's because when you like see the title pop up, you're like, oh, we're doing this thing? Like, as soon as they introed like the start of the movie and it's like Justine or whatever, you know, you're like, wait, is this how it's gonna be? Does it like throw you off?
Yeah, a little bit. But you know, the opening is the opening is so engaging, and I was just excited for the film in general, so it didn't matter. But normally when there's movies like that where it's like, okay, we're gonna tell the same story over and over again from different perspectives, I'm like, I don't really. All right, come on. I guess let's see how they do it. But
I didn't think that it was gonna be. I guess I should have known, but I didn't think it was gonna be different perspectives. I thought they were just gonna tell different parts of the story. But then as it got going, and you were like, oh, you're seeing it from the cop's point of view.
People show up.
Which was cool because like at the beginning, it's so focused and isolated on one character, on what's her name,
Justine.
yeah, on Justine, and like, and I noticed like watching like the first like 20 minutes or whatever, like you can see Josh Brolin, and it's him from the trailer and a bunch of stuff, but like shouting at the PTO meeting, but you only see his back, and they're moving along, and you're with Justine,
right?
or,
Yeah.
like you don't see anyone's face really except for hers for the most part, which is like I think they achieved that really well. That you're just like so tunnel visioned on that character.
I also want to give it a rewatch because I read somewhere that each perspective is like it's as if it's recalled from that person's memory because things are slightly different. So when Justine meets the police officer Paul, like their embrace in the bar is like different depending on whose character POV you're seeing it from.
Oh.
So like
I remember that moment specifically, and I remember thinking, oh, they must have just had 2 cameras there because this is the exact same.
Dude, I thought the
because I
same
was looking
thing,
at that,
but-
and it felt like
yeah.
it was the same thing.
maybe not, but I would have to watch it again. But I saw an article and maybe it was just somebody that was like,
Full
they
of
were
crap.
Yeah, they were full of shit.
Or like Austin Abrams, when he like gets caught breaking into that place and like the dumpster moment. Like I wonder if that feels a little different. But yeah, maybe who knows? Could be subtly different and different enough. But obviously they all have their own personality, and it seems different just going from different personalities too, or from different POVs.
On that, I want to talk a little bit more about kind of going back to the writing and like his inspiration for the film. I'm sure you guys may have seen this. That I don't know. I don't want to say a lot of the film, but certainly part of his process was dealing with his grief over Trevor Moore's death.
Yeah. Well, I've seen him. He hasn't like gone into detail about it.
Right.
But I do. Yeah, he has talked about like how
And each of the characters are like a different emotion that when you handle something like that. I'm gonna read something from this Rolling Stone interview that I hacked my way into. Look, like the rest of the world, I don't want to watch another horror movie about grief. That whole horror as a metaphor for grief is so effing played out. I shouldn't even be talking about this, but I can't help myself. I don't care if anybody gets any of that when they watch it. I want them to have fun. If the story rips, none of that matters. But I wanted to do something honest, and I found that as I kept writing, and the more I identified with all the people I was writing about, the more this became something like an honest diary of my inner shit. It's funny, I was talking to Ari Aster, nice name drop, about this, and I was like, I don't know about any of the personal stuff. And he was like, the personal stuff is what makes it work. Don't be ashamed of it. He's hearing him say that. It's part of the DNA of weapons. The town is dealing with a loss, and so was I. It was the biggest direct hit I'd ever taken.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. And I think I saw another interview with him where he was like, when I came out, like when he was done with it, it's not like the film is representative of anything like to do with, like losing Trevor or like any of that grief, but it's just like that's the way it came out of him when he was like expressing his art, when he was being creative. And but I agree with that top part. I could see also how when you're doing something like that, but you're in that mindset that you don't want it to read that way.
And this is how I'm dealing with the loss of,
Yeah. That's probably why you can't find many interviews of him like talking
about it directly. Yeah, it's. I'm sure it's also too personal to even want to.
Yeah,
but it's also
absolutely.
probably just a rolled up feeling of like a manifestation of so many elements of grief. Because he also talked about like growing up in a household with 2 alcoholic parents and like that being a part of this, where like quite literally like the kid in weapons and all the kids in the basement who are in paralysis, like he quite literally and his parents had to feed them like every single day of just like the young person, the kid in the house needing to be the adult to like take care of the family as best that you could. Like that is an element as well. So it's just so many. I don't know if that would be considered grief necessarily, but just it seems like that transcendental meditative way of writing, there's just so much in him that just
that would come out. Yeah, I did. That part did strike me when you see them being fed, especially for Alex's parents, who, by the way, were phenomenal. I want to call out Whitmer Thomas, and Callie Shudera. Awesome job. And Whitmer, I hope we see more of him. I know he was briefly in Friendship, And then obviously
Civil Dead.
The Civil Dead, which is so good. We should probably do that one.
It's awesome.
But to see him in this, I didn't even know he was in it. And then when he popped up, I was like, oh, hell yeah. But watching the kid, now maybe it's just like now me as like a new parent, but like watching the kid take care of his parents the best he could, like, and you step back and you think like, damn, that's like you said, man, that's reality. And there's no fantastical element attached. It's drugs, it's alcohol abuse, it's like, like this indifference, like people having kids that shouldn't be having kids, or, that can't take care of them. And, oh, it's awful. So, yeah, I felt that a lot when I was watching it. Sucks.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
There was one other part that I wanted to hit on. Well, actually, I'm going to hold it because that deals with the ending, which I think we'll roll into.
Hold it. Don't wipe yet.
I'm going to hold it.
So where are we going now? What were you gonna?
I mean, I kind of wanted to get into the scenes.
Well, hold on. There's one little thing, just like Gladys's. There's one thing I want to talk about with Gladys's character. This was a fun thing.
Who's Gladys, Vin?
Gladys is.
Who is that?
And this is a spoiler. Gladys is the. Well, Gladys could be two things. So.
Just apparently, for context.
Apparently, well, Gladys is the villain of the film.
Got it.
Gladys is the witch. Gladys is the witch. And
you say she's a witch.
Well, when Zach Krager approached Amy Madigan and was talking about her with the character, apparently he gave her two origin stories and said, pick one, but don't tell me which, where she was either a person practicing magic to heal themselves from an illness, or a being of non-human being mimicking human behavior. And he says, I don't know the answer, but I love that I don't know the answer. I don't need to know the answer. I just need to know that it's all possible. I don't know which one she picked.
That's lovely.
Very cool.
That's cool.
That's creepy.
I think she's a person who is sick. I'm gonna guess she picked that one.
Yeah,
it's not the non-human entity.
I align with the illness one too.
I think it's someone.
Her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's because then you also, unless she's like totally devoid of empathy and compassion or anything, you have these scenes where like just pure trauma, pure carnage and violence is happening right in front of her, and she like is indifferent. And that leads me to the other version of her being
I
like
think
a non-human
you underestimate
entity.
the boundlessness of human depravity.
And not at all. And that's what I'm saying. It's completely possible. I'm just saying, when phrased like that, because I hadn't heard that he gave her both those options, I could see that being a fit for. Obviously, he had those two things in mind when he was writing, and it was like.
But isn't it cooler if
she
is a human being and is that awful?
I'm going to stake my claim that she is a witch that's been around for hundreds of years, all the way back to like the Salem witch trial.
Well, let me say, I agree with that, but I think the way that she informed herself how to play it is, I'm a sick person. But I do think, but yes, but no. I mean, she brought up like consumption, like as a disease, and they're like,
that's
what
true.
the fuck?
Yeah,
like
that's a good point.
that dates her back a decent amount. Like I think she's been around for sure.
I think there's probably a heavy debate on how long and how she's been able to keep this racket up, but clearly.
And it's funny how much this parallels another film that is yet to be made, where in a old-timey butcher who's been around for hundreds of years tries to trap a bunch of children in another basement to feed off their life force. So
people do not know. People. Audience doesn't know too much about the Meat Man feature that we have in the works, but when you see it, man. We wrote it before we saw what happens.
Look, we do have like a proof of concept that we could always go back to.
Yeah, we could say,
granted,
this is from 2013.
Or like whatever it was. Yeah. Meanwhile, obviously, it will be a very different movie. But yes, I could see, when we do get this thing made, people will be like, I see where you got that inspo.
I think that there'll be such different films anyways. I don't think that the comparison will be very direct anyways, but when I was watching it, just because it's been on the forefront of our minds, like it was so apparent to me.
Right.
I was like, oh man, this is crazy how, And it's also, you could take it all the way to like, what's the comparison everybody uses? Avatar and like Pocahontas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you really boil it down, how similar those storylines are.
Yeah, it's the same story.
Yeah. We're all just recycling the same like 5 stories.
Weapons, but Weapons was totally Pocahontas, dude. Just saying.
Yeah, Gladys is John Smith. And, well, I was gonna say, I was listening to an interview he was doing with whoever, doesn't matter, and she said, oh, this is basement horror, like his first movie, Barbarian. There's something in the basement. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but then
Zach
he did say like, yeah, he's like, and I didn't want to do another basement horror. Like I'm in the basement, but he's like, fuck it, that's just where it led me, and like, that's where it's gonna happen.
Also, I mean, Weapons doesn't really take place in a basement. It's
No,
like,
but it just has, yeah, you're right, it doesn't. But it does have the element of like what is being hidden is through the door you shouldn't go down or through and walk down the stairs and like da-da-da-da. But you're right. I mean, Barbarian was like took place in the basement essentially.
in a big, extensive basement.
Yeah, a little different. But yeah, I mean, hey, it's a trope for a reason, man. It works. It's freaky. No one likes to have to, go down some creaky steps when it's all dark down there and dark and damp.
Aaron, Aaron, you don't have a proper basement because your basement opens out into the backyard.
Well, we have a walkout basement.
It's not a basement.
It's a basement.
It's like a poor basement.
What do you call it? What is a basement then? If it's not a basement,
Your basement is sort of like a peninsula. Like a peninsula is surrounded by water on 3 sides and there's land. Your basement is surrounded by dirt on 3 sides, and then one side it walks out like a front door. So you have sort of the peninsula comparison to, like, your basement's like more like a peninsula, whatever that would be.
I don't know why I'm so offended that you don't consider it a basement, but I am, and I just want
not.
you to know that.
You have snacks down there?
If you want them down
No,
there,
he doesn't.
Because
They're
if you had snacks down there, I would be more aligned with it being a basement.
Look, Vin's jealous because my basement is better than his basement that he grew up in, and his basement follows his definition because it's not a walkout, but it was no fun. You know how many sleepovers we had in Vin's basement when we were growing up? Like 0, because it wasn't any fun.
Wow.
Well, because my mom...
His parents didn't buy any snacks.
There
was never any candy. There was never any chips.
Never any chips. And then
Sorry,
we were silent. We had to be silent because if you cracked your toe, his eyes would shoot up at the ceiling.
And then
Shelly
Vin,
was a
when he
light
said,
sleeper.
Vin would always leak. Anytime he slept at home, he'd always leak.
Yeah, and he
Leak
pissed
a little
all
bit.
over us.
Yeah.
No, come on. you
Yeah,
guys
I'd be
are
like, "What
making
is all this
stuff up.
piss?"
Spreading rumors.
And oh my gosh, he held all his water. You must have the biggest bladder, because then you just didn't stop peeing. Then you'd wake up and you would sleepwalk piss everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of piss.
I gave out the raincoats at the beginning of the evening. I said, put these on, and you guys didn't want to wear them. Speaking of liquids, I'm so thirsty. It's so hot in this apartment. I need to drink water.
You are sweating, man.
I'm in my...
He's got like puddles forming on his shirt.
Yeah, we definitely got it. Yeah, I don't know how we can measure the level of sweat throughout the pod, but it's pretty damp. It's pretty damp.
He is perspiring.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, anyway, so where were we?
Well,
we're talking about memorable scenes.
I just want to know. I mean that's all I want to know is what your guys' favorite parts were.
Coop, you go first.
I mean, I guess there's so many wonderful parts to this. Like, I love, I don't love this, but it was like, oh my gosh, when the parents were like stabbing themselves in the face with a fork. Like, oh my God. Like that, there's 2 moments that really, like, that one, like, made me like come out of myself a little bit of just like, holy shit. And then I think I didn't cheer, but I think I was laughing, like I was with glee, like when the kids were busting through the windows and just like ripping Gladys apart. Like I was just like audibly just like, oh my God. Like I was just having such a good time with that, with the ending, with the climax, with that part of the movie. So that's, I don't know. Those are easy ones to say. Maybe the last one is, but I love those so much.
Fair.
Thank you.
Very fair.
Thank you, Cooper. Aaron, I'll go, and then you go. I was going to say the face stabbing scene, too. When Benedict Wong, Marcus, the principal, who, by the way, I was listening to him in an interview, guy's British. Fooled me.
No!
Can't
Benedict
be
Wong
Superman.
is?
Can't be Superman.
No, he can't. He's British.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you feel a
I
little
mean,
betrayed.
They can't keep getting away with it!
The guy's name is Benedict. Let's go.
That's a
Come
good
on.
point. That's a
Yeah,
good point.
we don't know there's no Benedicts in America. You never met another Benedict in school.
No,
It's
not
true.
a one.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
I
true.
guess it's a dead giveaway.
You're not lying.
When he's smashing his husband's face.
How'd I know, you sick SOB?
Well, because then it made his face look all insane.
Yeah.
When he was when you see him running to tackle Julia Gardner's character, and he looks all crazy. I'm like, what happened to his face? Like, why did the magic do something to his face? And then you realized, I guess Zach Krager was talking about how in Barbarian he didn't feel like there was the face smashing scene. He didn't feel like he got it quite right. He said in this film he got it a little bit closer, but he said he's looking for that. The white whale is the.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna do his trilogy of face smash.
He is the. I guess still haven't seen this movie,
Gotta
but
get
in
on the next
Irreversible, someone gets their face smashed with a fire extinguisher.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Resident Evil would be a good
yeah,
platform
sure.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched a face smash in a movie and been like, nah.
No, I thought it
Nah,
was
they
great.
didn't get it.
Not quite.
I thought it was good.
Nah. I stood up in the theater. Nice try.
I've
Not
seen
buying
how
it.
those go down, man. That's not it.
I've seen 100.
The
Yeah,
guy, his teeth would be flying in it wouldn't fly out like that.
That also worked on me. But I think even better than the face smash scene was his run afterwards, which I think like really drove home the point, which I thought was so good, was that like your body is completely possessed, and if you need to run 5 miles full sprint,
you're
even if
gonna.
you're physically like it, you have no mental capacity to stop it. You are just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild to me. Just thinking that he could like have pulled his hamstring like running out the door, and then just like doesn't matter. You're gonna run through it and tear up your insides because you're bewitched. And
And the way they
that
did
part
that
was so unsettling
when
to me.
when they were talking about like these possessed people being literal like missiles basically, you know.
Yeah.
Like that the way they shot that too with him was just, it felt that way of just you're locked into one thing and nothing's gonna stop you from getting there. It was so cool.
Which I like that Josh Brolin had like a line, which I think kind of drove it home for people who missed the connection, where he's like, they're weaponizing them.
yeah. That did feel that didn't feel too indulgent or anything. I think it was right. Yeah.
I think it worked too, and I'm glad that they did it. So
Someone's
it kind of
turning
drove
these
the point home.
goddamn people into weapons.
Oh no!
I've
these
had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
The obvious one that got audible gasp in my theater was when Justine's character is sitting outside Alex's home and the mother comes out and
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
like
a great
people literally gasping and
scene. Yeah, when she walks
The
by
edge.
and you're like, okay, everything's fine. And then you hear the door open, everyone was like,
Brilliant.
oh, no.
freaking brilliant use of sound, brilliant use of tension. And
So
also, I want to call attention to that. Like when she comes, that Zach has like a thing about, I think, like doors, the unknown. Maybe that's where basements come into, where it's just like there's something lurking in the presence. He did it in Barbarian too, where it's just like, oh, here's a tunnel down to who knows where, and it's just the scary part is what's on the other side. Because when it pans to her house, when it pans to Alex's house, and the door creepily opens, there's a good chunk of time, like just long enough, where there's like a black void there, and it just sits, and you're like, you just get this gross feeling in your stomach. You're like, what the fuck? And then the way she comes out, like my hair rose, like all of a sudden I got like goosebumps, and then everybody laughed because of like how she's walking.
Yeah.
And it was like this brilliant, like I don't remember the last time I watched a movie where people, it was like you were oscillating between like tension and comedy, and you were like, oh, this is goofy, oh, this is weird, oh, this is, I don't like this, oh, this is funny, oh, what the fuck, you know? It was such a wild ride just in that one scene too.
And it's so universal too, because you know what you guys are describing in your theater experience was the exact same thing in mine. So it's just, you know, it's happening everywhere, and like those beats are there perfectly, and they just work so well. But also when the door opens and it's the black void, you know, sitting on it, and then she comes out. Like, I also love that in a lot of cases in this movie, music is not driving what you should be feeling, or making you anticipate what to feel necessarily. But it's again a lived-in experience, which can make it even more, you know, frightening, which is really great.
Yeah, agreed. Let's talk about the ending. Oh yeah, well, we could talk about the gun.
The gun floating over the house.
Yeah. Well, you pulled up an actual bit that Zach talked about it. I hadn't heard that before.
On the meaning of it, he said, "I don't really care. It's not up to me. I just like that it's there."
It came to him in his meditation, right?
He also said it's a very important moment of the film, but he doesn't go beyond that.
Maybe that's something that he's just put there for himself, almost. You know.
Well, it's above the house, right?
Yeah, it's like floating above the house, and it's also like kind of like an alarm clock. It's got the time on it.
Yeah, which is the, you know, Shining callback. The 217.
Well, I think Shining was 235, right? 217 would be Stephen King.
What's 217 to
Yeah, because he talked about it in an interview, and somebody was like, "Oh, this film is really Stephen King coded," right. And he was just like, "Oh yeah," and he kind of walked through how the obvious ones are like The Shining and stuff. But he said when he was writing it, he didn't want to go so direct and do 235.
Got it.
Wait, but what's the 217?
217 was the time. Oh, for Stephen King?
Yeah.
I think that comes up a lot in Stephen King. I didn't look into it, but
okay. I saw
Room 217.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh, that is from The Shining.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I was totally wrong. I thought it was a different number. No, you're right.
Yeah. But
wait a second.
There is
This says film adaptation really quick. It says, while King's novel features the room 217, the film adaptation by Kubrick changed the room number to 237. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. Got it.
Someone said that there was because the obvious, if you want to make it's like school shootings, gun, kids are missing, weapons, classroom. Frankly, I didn't really even think about that. But
me either.
But someone said, "Oh yeah, the gun," and someone pointed out that there was like in a congressional vote to ban assault weapons. Some vote somewhere it was like 217 no's.
See, that's just
that just can be made up.
That's just the interesting coincidences. I feel like that come up, and people get the opportunity to just watch a movie and take what you want from it. And there's a great example of it. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it was just like, this is the weaponized. This is where it's all headed. This is where this is mission control.
Well, also you could. I mean, just making assumptions here, but you could take it as like it has to do with Josh Brolin's character's psyche. There's a lot going on with that character, which I don't think is very obvious unless you dig in. But his whole speech to his son in his dream, where he's basically confessing, like, "I'm sorry, I've never told you I love you." Like maybe that was pulled from Zach's own experiences, or just But obviously there was something there that maybe that has to do with, I think, the type of guy that Josh Brolin is, his character is portraying too, which he seems like kind of like I'm like a man's man,
Yeah, I mean, he did talk a lot about how he took this role because it confronts toxic masculinity, and he likes to do that in like a very real and authentic way, in a challenging way. And I think like little cues too are like when we go back and see Alex's POV. The kid's POV. Then we see Josh Brolin's son. He's kind of a bully. He's kind of fucking with Alex all the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's a little asshole.
It plays into, like, if you connect those dots, like the upbringing of like his dad's not really emotionally available, or just kind of like, toughen up, man.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good catch. Good call, Coop.
Man, I never miss a bully. Never.
And the why. And most importantly, the why behind the bullying.
Why? Always follow the father. Always follow the money.
One other character / scenes that I wanted to call out is Austin Abrams.
Dude, yeah.
Absolutely crushed it. I'm very glad that he stuck through it with Zach Cregger, because Zach talked about the movie getting delayed, and Austin, like I said earlier, was the only one that stayed aboard, and he was like down, I don't know, 30 pounds or something, and he needed to like maintain that weight like for a whole additional year until they shot, and he did. And now Zach and him are teaming up again for Resident Evil. But I just thought that every single scene that he was in, he really, maybe it's because I feel like I know that type of person, and it felt so accurate. But
yeah,
I thought he killed it.
Yeah, he did a great job. And then, yeah, like you said, he's like pretty much the only guy in Resident Evil, which is so cool that they're just working together again. But yeah, I thought he was great. Great comic relief. Like the scene of him just like being so like such a dependent person on like his drugs, that like the situation of going into the parents' house and like seeing them comatose or like in this state of paralysis, and
still so like unfazed.
Yeah.
So you good, bro?
Yeah. It was great, man.
Yeah. Very strong. All right, do you guys want to move to reviews, reception? Then I know you pulled some fun ones before we get into our thoughts, but were there any that jumped out at you?
Well, I just went on Letterboxd and I pulled 3 5-star reviews and 3 1-star reviews.
All right, give them to us.
All right, these are indulge here. 5 stars. Made me want to stand up and cheer. Beyond refreshing to see a modern genre film that's original, draws from the intuitive and the subconscious, reflects the present cultural moment, makes you think rather than telling you what to think. What a feeling after more than a decade of dry horror flicks that beat you over the head with their themes to walk out of the theater wondering what it all meant. And it accomplishes all of this without ever forgetting the cardinal rule of horror. It's supposed to be fun. Keep 'em coming, Cregger.
Okay.
Another one. Such a fun satirical take on the whole nasty
Wait, that was
witch
one?
trope.
That was just one review?
That was just one review.
Wow. Okay.
Such a fun
Coops, like,
satirical
get it
take
over.
on the whole nasty old witch trope. I was surprised at the roller coaster this film turned out to be, when the same film makes me gasp out loud in a crowded theater and laugh at the completely unexpected, inappropriate moments. I'm inclined to love it no matter how many mental gymnastics I have to do to justify the ending. And then one more said, dare I say, best release of the year.
Woo.
And now
Hit us with the 1 stars.
1-star review. Me, if I hated women and didn't see them as human beings and decided to direct a shitty film.
Copy.
For reviews that are higher than 1 star, did we even watch the same film? Bad movie. Anticlimactic ending. Kids Naruto running. It keeps you watching because of how bad it is. And then another one said, the opening honky tonk music over the kids Naruto running is the most immersion killing thing ever.
That song that person thought was honky tonk?
Yeah, I don't remember being honky tonk.
No. Honky tonk is something you can line dance to, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. It's a perception thing. Anyway.
Maybe the witch could make them line dance. There were more so that's the beautiful thing about art, you guys. If people can love it, people can
Some
hate
people
it.
are
objective.
I think that's what you want at the end of the day.
Where do you guys... we decided that we're going to start giving ratings.
Are we doing regular boring old 5 stars?
Give it out of 5 stars.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm going to actually use these for my letterbox. So I just figured I'm not going to do some different A, B, C, D.
Different crap.
I'm
going to give it a 4. I really liked it.
Coop star.
4.5. 4.5. Loved it.
I'm going to say somewhere between a 4 and a 4.5.
So 4.25.
Pretty.
I don't actually think that you can do that, but
Pretty good. Pretty good ratings.
I also enjoyed it. I think this film for me was the last 15 minutes. that's like, to me, it's like when you see a movie, like I enjoyed the movie the whole way through, but the last 15 minutes, I was like, this just made it for me. The ending, to me, for certain films that hit it right, the ending is the movie. And like that just, I was like, it just felt so well built and fun. And
It was a beautiful button. Beautiful button.
Did you think though that, were you wondering, oh, so she gets these kids into the basement, and so she's gonna, we're assuming, drain their life force, but she just never gets around to doing it. There's some other ritual she has to do, but they're hot on her. They're too close. They're too hot on the trail for her to ever go through with it. So she doesn't.
But we don't know the process. But I think we do know, and I'm pretty sure by the end, just by the sheer fact of having the kids in the house, she had a more full head of hair, I thought. You can go back and check that out. Did. But like in that last scene before
oh, you're
like
right.
her hair looked fuller.
She was like slowly healing.
I'm thinking of that.
I think it was
shot
just with the presence of them.
Yeah. Because she goes, I thought being around your mom and dad would make me feel better, but it's not working. So
right.
And also, I attributed that to, well, she's very old, and so she just needs more young people to,
Yeah, and seeing her from we're seeing her transition a little bit. She's going from her POV at least, very decrepit, so sick as she calls herself, to like slowly, she's able to go outside and like pose as the Aunt Gladys in like a not convincing way, but enough at least where she's not like keeled over, and everything. So she slowly seems like she's making progress until the end when she has a full head of hair. But yeah, I
love too how the character exists in a way where, they bring her in when they bring her in the second time to the principal's office, and the secretary is just looking at her like there's something wrong with this person, and everyone else has to. Yeah, the principal's off. Like, I welcome come. He's very welcoming. Doesn't even give it sort of a hint that there's something off about this woman, and it's funny that there's this, there's like enough. It's like, well, this person is very strange.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting dynamic, as if she is as old as maybe we're thinking that she is, hundreds of years or whatever, and she's dressing the way she does, like as if some attempt to fit in or even exist in a way that she wants to be, like have the attention of people, and this is what she thinks would get it for her, by more elaborate makeup and wardrobe. Because she sticks
and
out
Benedict Wong doesn't
goes.
even bat an eye, because it's just like, I don't even have time to even care about what this parent or aunt looks like, whatever.
Yeah, she's great. We didn't talk enough about Amy Madigan, but
so good.
Dude, she's so good. She's so good.
Also the device in which they use to like get the kids and like anybody she's trying to possess. I thought that was really cool. It didn't seem like, it wasn't like this blown out thing or whatever. Just having the tree and the blood and the token, and that's it. And then like the snapping and the water and everything. Like very cool, very clear, very original.
Mm-hmm. I think there was another direction the film was going to go, where at the end it was going to be like an army of her children, and then an army of other people that were all under control, and there was going to be like a big fight like in the gymnasium. Yeah.
So Alex and them like steal the tree, and then like go to the gym and get like the buffest dude and like get some of his DNA or whatever, and then get this army of like big buff dudes or like crazy people to go against the kids in Gladys's army. I think Krager said like, A, that would be like too long, and B, it just wouldn't be as cool.
Yeah.
So on mention of the ending, I just learned this, that the original script did not have any intention of a chase with the kids at the end. It was just that Gladys only makes it out the front door and the kids rip her up in the front yard. And then I think as they were doing it, he realized we need to extend this, and it added 4 days of shooting onto the production. But that's where you get like the kids running through the house and all that fun stuff, which in my opinion totally makes the movie what it is. I mean, you might with the original have had that really cool shot of them bursting out of the windows of Alex's house and chasing her, but like to have it extended and they're crashing through neighbors' homes and stuff as she's getting chased. Just
that's
like,
that's so cool to be in the
cool.
position
Cherry on
to say 4 more days of shooting. By the way, we're gonna need some prop windows, some stunt people. We're gonna need like a few $100,000 more.
We're gonna need kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna need kids to run through glass.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I saw an interview with him talking about how he would like wake up in the middle of the night thinking, because that was such like a crazy experience, like getting all that together, and he would wake up in the middle of the night like thinking like, oh, I gotta prep all this and like all these kids, and then he'd be like, oh my gosh, no, the shooting's done, like I'm good. So I could imagine, especially dealing with kids and that many, like that would
Very punk rock
that'd
ending.
be hard.
I love it. Very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
All right.
All right, y'all. Well, that
was Weapons.
was Weapons.
Holy crap.
Episode 75 of FND POD. What a blast. Go see it if you haven't. And if you're listening to this and you haven't seen it, what are you doing? We just ruined the whole freaking movie for you.
We ruined it.
So next time maybe watch the flick before you listen.
What's going on? I'm spraying
as a
the
reminder,
streets.
And he's still spraying
Gotta
the
get
streets
it. We
down,
need it
guys.
even wetter.
He's
We need to
still
say
at it.
80% wet.
Hey, I'm going OT, baby.
that
It's
street.
misting. I'm just misting it.
That's all. As long as we got it,
Let's
80%,
go.
buddy. These pretentious misters. Well, join our memberships, guys. Join our Patreon. We're going to have some private watch-alongs for some... We're going to watch some really good movies. We're going to watch some really bad movies. And that's the fun of it.
Think of it like a really, really
So-
cool and exclusive film club. In fact, the less people that join, the more exclusive it is, and the cooler.
We don't even want you.
Actually, nobody joined.
Yeah.
Don't join.
Because then it makes it.
Yeah,
less
we don't
cool.
want you. It's just going to be us.
Don't go.
But if you do join, we're going to have a private Discord, and you can hop on and
And hang
Enjoy
out
the
in Aaron's
ride.
basement. Is it a basement?
No,
With the bacon?
it's not a basement. No,
It
it's not.
is.
Holy crap.
It is.
I
Do you guys see this?
All right, y'all.
Do you guys see what
Thanks
I'm
for
talking
watching.
about? Look at this.
Yeah,
a
dude. I
sweaty
don't want to end
boy.
on
Look
this
at
sweat
this.
right
This
here.
is
This
crazy.
is making me want to
sweaty
throw up.
boy.
Literally putting our blood, sweat, and tears into this pod, guys.
All right. Thanks for listening.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Swing you later.
Bye.